what's up, y'all? It's your man Will. Hope everybody is all well and being positive. Today, I'm over in the Chatham neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. For all my life, the Chatham neighborhood has been known for a middle class, working class neighborhood for black people. So let's take a walk around today. Let's see how much has stayed the same, and let's see how much has changed. So yeah, if you're rocking with my content, please hit that like and subscribe button. All right, y'all, let's take this walk. It's the Mahelia Jackson Court. There used to be an apartment building on this corner. It was abandoned for some years. They tore it down. So I guess they're gonna be having some events up in here. I like this artwork. And we right over here on 79th and State, right off the red line, 79th Street stop. I like how they dressed up this corner though. The bus lane, it's artwork. They even got some drinking symbols on here. And that preschool over there has been there for years. I guess you can do like an outdoor area, little party over here. Or a little event, outdoor event, just for the community. Taylor Funeral Home, they've been here for a long time. A lot of people from the neighborhood have held funerals here and memorial services. Right on 79th in Michigan. Man, this sister's still missing. Kiera Coles. Y'all know about her whereabouts? Please call this number. I hope the sister's okay. Mahelia Jackson, Aretha Franklin, Mavis Staples, Della Reese, Beyonce. So they got all of the divas all right here. It's a dope mural. Who did this? Chatham, they have a lot of neighborhood churches. This is an older church, St. James Lutheran Church. But look at that. The architecture. Look at that window up there. That's dope. This door. how long you been living in the Chatham area?
Yeah, I've actually been here about 22 years maybe. Yeah, about 21, 22 years now.
Word.
Yeah.
Like what made you want to choose Chatham? Like what made you make that decision to focus on this neighborhood, to make this your home?
Honestly, man, just like kind of growing up outside the city, and like, you know, when I would come to the city, there were certain neighborhoods that stood out, and this is one of them. Chatham, Bronzeville, like areas like that had like were known for like the black population there. You know what I'm saying? They were black neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But they were like historic neighborhoods. You know, and those like they would always fly to me. Thinking about like Bronzeville, though, I was like, nah, there's no way I can afford that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I moved here like just a couple years out of college. But like I said, I always liked this area. It was unique to me because you got the city atmosphere, but at the same time, you still also got like that neighborhood kind of chill community.
Right.
Even though like, you know, you nestle right between, you know, big streets. But once you get off them big streets, you get kind of in the neighborhood.
Right.
It becomes a neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It's more neighborhood-like to me. You know.
Right. Just like this block right here, it's like you got houses, and that's one thing about Chatham. Even when I was a shorty coming to Chatham, like coming from South Shore, it's houses in South Shore, but not as many houses as it is in Chatham, in my opinion. And you're right, like Chatham has always had this reputation as a nice working class, middle class area for black folks.
And honestly, it was like just knowing, like kind of like what you said, man. Like the kind of unspoken rule was like, yo, if you black and you okay financially, and I'm not saying well off, but you black and got decent job, this is where you can be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so that's what I always liked it. And the other thing too, it kind of reminded me of like where I grew up, because when like my neighborhood I grew up in my block was pretty quiet and chill. You know, around my block wasn't so much that. You know, so this way I kind of got that kind of cozy atmosphere, but in the city though.
Right.
You know.
Right. Oh man, looks like Williams Hydro Plant store closed. Used to come here and get all type of plants and seeds and manure and all type of stuff. So like they done bit the dust. I don't know when they closed, but I remember this as a kid. Man, this is another Chatham staple from back in the day. Chatham Food Market. Man, this used to be a decent little neighborhood grocery store. Now it's available for lease. This was a nice grocery store. I used to come in here all the time. They had a parking lot too. Got some political artwork over here. Roland Burris, Barack Obama. They put Eugene Sawyer on that boy. I like how they pasted the faces on there. Harold Washington. Martin Luther King. They even got Lori Lightfoot old picture on there. That's wild. On 79th Street, the Chatham area. Some notable people that came out of the Chatham area were really like one of the first black men that moved into the Chatham area is Welton Taylor. Him and his wife moved to Chatham back in the 50s. Like I said, like right after white flight, when black people was moving to Chatham. He was one of the first families. Who else you got from Chatham? Ernie Banks, Chance, the rapper, Roland Burris, Mahalia Jackson, most definitely. Matter of fact, here go another Mahalia Jackson. You dig right here. Nice. Yeah, the Roads Cleaners is still open. Now we're on 79th and Rhodes. Right over here on 79th and Rhodes, it used to be this vacant lot right here. Used to be the Rhodes Theater. I think it opened like in 1937. And it was open, it was like back in the day when they used to have neighborhood theater, movie houses, and this is the Rhodes that was right here in Chatham. I remember I came up here with my mother back in the 80s. We came up here to see Rocky III. And it stayed open for a while. Then it was just abandoned for a while. Then they tore it down, I want to say like mid 90s or late 90s or something like that. But now it's just been a vacant lot forever. But yeah, this used to be the Rhodes Theater. If you ever saw a movie in the Rhodes Theater, leave a comment. Mr. Leaks. You got Josephine's. This used to be Captain Hard Times restaurant and banquet hall. I had my 8th grade luncheon in this spot, but now it's called Josephine's. This whole building right here on 79th and King Drive. It used to be a bar, some hair salons, and a store. Now the whole building vacant. Right across the street from the library. Got good old Mickey D's. That's still open in the hood. But then I like this mural right here on the library. Protect your future. This is dope. Look at this beautiful building here. Would you believe that it is a bowling alley in the basement? When I was a kid, we used to come up here and bowl, get off at the bus right here and go down in the basement. Now it's vacant. Matter of fact, I think the building is for sale, a part of a portfolio sale where they want you to buy the whole portfolio instead of to buy this building. But look at that beauty. And then right there in the doorway, right there in the center, that's where you go down to the bowling alley. There used to be a Payless shoe store right here on this corner. And then on this other corner over here, That used to be Happy Liquor, but now it's being turned into the Corner of Life. It was, the building was bought by Pastor Hannah. He's gonna change that old liquor store into a grocery store. Man, there used to be so much crime and stuff on this corner, still is. The people need to take over this corner. But right here on 79th and Cottage, right down there, you got Leaks Funeral Home. And Harold's down there. But yeah, but 79th and Cottage, and this area right here used to be a good shopping area, but a lot of these businesses are closed, or it's just like, you know, some food, fast food, tax places, gym shoe spots, stuff like that. But yeah, let's keep moving. Another staple in Chatham is Pry Cleaners, because of this sign. You know you're on 79th and St. Lawrence when you see this sign. This Cleaners has been open forever. And look at this cool 1950s architecture, like. But yup, we on 79th Street. This used to be the old school Leon's BBQ. But then Leon's closed, and then they changed it to Uncle John's BBQ and that donut. They donuts is good, but I don't think they're as good as original old-fashioned donuts in Roseland, though. Let's keep going. Jerks it is. Man, I used to love coming over here to Captain Curts. Curts had the best barbecue sauce. When I was a shorty going to Arthur Dixon, we was able to get open lunch, open campus lunch, and we used to walk down here to Curts. For 75 cents, you can get some fries with some mild sauce on them, boys. It used to be so good. Those were the good old days. This school here is Arthur Dixon. This is my old elementary school. I lived in South Shore, but my mother got me bused to this elementary school. Man, this would be a lot of fun up in here, man. As I transferred from a Catholic school and started going to CPS, I didn't know what the heck what I was going to be getting into, but it was all cool. Oh, that's dope. I like how they put this greenhouse here, over here. That's nice. Kids probably learning how to grow food. That's beautiful, man. We used to have this assistant principal named Mr. Mobley. Man, Mr. Mobley did not play. But this is Arthur Dixon, one of the biggest elementary schools in Chatham. Then across the street, you have these, I think it's the Chattam Park apartments. It's a lot of them too. You can walk through here and get lost. A lot of kids that went to Dixon used to live up in here. Now we here on 85th and King Drive at Cole Park. Cole Park is one of the neighborhood parks over here in Chatham. When I used to go to Dixon, we used to come up here and play ball all the time. But the people used to live over here. So yup, it's Cole Park. How many of y'all remember or live around here by Cole Park?
a lot of kids up here playing today too. That's dope. And right here on this fence, look like they did a memorial. It appears to be pictures of kids that passed away. Nita's Love Train Love Memorial. It's nice. All right, I'm over here at Tulie Park. I'm like right over here by 90th, right off King Drive. It's a big park. They got a big field house too. Big old baseball diamond over there. And they have a lot of tennis courts too, where they play tennis. Then you can rent out these rooms and stuff and have events inside of the field house. Let's check out this old building. It's a nice sculpture. Tulie Park. It's a community meeting.
There was a young man, this is just a statement, a young man who came to the meeting at the West Chattam Park, the field house on that
There's a lot of people out here too.
And he announced he was a coach at Simeon, and he and his athletes sent him.
You can tell the owners of these houses have pride in their properties. All of the landscaping is taken care of. The houses are in good condition. And we got this house right here is a Chatham staple known as the Blue White House. It was built back in the 60s by the Smith family. And I would say over the past decade or so, some people renovated it and, sold it, bought it, renovated it, sold it. But this is one of the known houses in Chatham, the Blue White House. It's beautiful. And one thing is good too, this house over here, cat a corner from this beautiful blue house is Roland Burris' house. Also, it was a house of Mahelia Jackson, right here on the corner. I'm not trying to be a creep and videotape people's houses, but just want to show y'all some history of Chatham. But yeah, but that's Mahelia Jackson old house. Like they having some landscaping going on. But let's keep walking. Now I couldn't come into the Chatham neighborhood and not stop at Doc's and give me a fish wish. It's gotta go down.
Come to record up.
You want me to?
Hell yeah. What you?
Now, this theater right here was open like early 2000s, and it was opened by Magic Johnson. It was one of his projects that he was trying to bring movie theaters and cinemas back to the inner cities. because like I showed you all on 79th and Rhodes, all of those movie houses, theaters, they all closed in the city. So most of the movies, you have to go to the suburbs to go to the movies, or you may have to go all the way downtown to go to the movies. So Magic Johnson was opening up movie theaters. I think he did it all over the country too, in the inner city. And this theater right here, it was called Ice at first. And it was called the Ice Theaters. And we were so happy that we had a movie theater that was like 5-10 minutes away from the house, where you could just drive up here and go to the movies. I forget how many theater rooms were in the inside, but I think it was maybe eight theaters. But yeah, it was a decent size, but now it was closed. It was decent for some years. They even started like showing like independent films here. You can rent out one of the theater rooms to show one of your movies or showcase something that you were working on independently. But I don't know exactly what happened. You all can let me know in the comments, but it is now closed. I know it was some violence up here a couple of times, but all the times I used to come up here, it used to always be cool. It was just like families and stuff. But now this area back here off of 87th Street is all vacant, empty parking lots. But then you have this building here that can be something. I still think people will come over here and go to the movies if it was open. But too bad, too sad, it's closed. So, yeah, man. All right, y'all, I think that's a wrap, man. I think I covered a lot of Chatham. Thanks for checking out this episode. And if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. Man, I can't front, man. Doing these neighborhoods has been fun. It's been a lot of reminiscing walking these streets, and I can tell on my viewers in the comments that they're leaving, a lot of people are reminiscing about these neighborhoods. Either they grew up in these neighborhoods, or they had family here, or they lived in Chicago and they moved. So thanks for all of the subscribers, and also thank you for everybody that leave a comment. Stay tuned. I want to do more of these videos over the next couple of weeks. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, y'all, this your man Will. Peace.